The world's most extreme endurance sport, 3,600 kilometers, 21 days, risking career-ending injuries, brutal heat, elevation, and sometimes literally being run over. Tour de France, a sport most of us cannot fathom, plagued by controversies from the 2000s, and now our newest late-night Netflix binge, Unchained. This week I'm going behind the scenes to see if I can literally get on the course with the riders. 2, attempt to survive one of the stages. And 3, expose what these athletes are doing to recover these days. To Newt St. George in France, and I'm about to go behind the scenes at Easy Post Bus. You know the one you see? Yeah, that one. We're gonna go there, meet some of the people, and see if I, yes me, can get on the course. I have a plan. Right now I'm exploring the Easy Post bus. You can see the places where they warm up, shower, they each have their own individual seat. There's a whole bus for just mechanics and their own bus. And as I tour around, I'm starting to ask myself some questions like, how are these guys recovering when they're doing hundreds of kilometers every day, sleeping in random hotel rooms? How do you eat? How do you fuel? Like, they're not having a snack in the middle of the bike, or are they? How are they drinking water? How are they not exhausted? I have so many questions in my head right now, and we are going to get to the bottom of it. And I'm going to see if it's even humanly possible for someone like me to survive what these guys do every day. What are your 3 non-negotiables on your night routine while traveling?
Staying cool is probably the most important, especially during the summertime. A lot of hotels in France don't have air conditioning, so having a mattress that cools you down at night is massive. I like to set it pretty chilly before about an hour before I even get into bed, so that it's nice and cool by the time I get under the covers.
Some unexpected finds I'm finding here at the bus. First, an air conditioner for each bike. That makes sense. And McDonald's, specifically French McDonald's. I've heard it's better. There's only one way to really find out. I got high hopes. It tastes like a chicken nugget. It tastes more like chicken though. You know what I mean? They're better. Fries are the same. If you've ever wondered on Netflix how they get those car shots, well, I figured it out. This is how they set up their cameras and how they talk to the riders, just like in F1. There's the radios down in the bottom, and we finally discovered how they're eating. They have a meal before, they have a big meal after, but also throughout the entire race, these cars are riding beside them, handing them off gels, energy chews, and energy bars. Which makes you think, what would it be like to be in the back of one of these cars?
So these are what we call rain bags, which this just has spare shoes in case the shoe breaks, socks in case their socks break, or rain jackets and all that kind of stuff. So they're kind of set up for whatever they need them to put it there.
We approach the starting line, 1 minute countdown. I don't know what to expect here. Are we going 0 to 100? Is it a nice cruise? Are we going to be taking sharp corners? I don't know. But either way, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're off. We're taking sharp corners. I realize it's not speed bumps because that'd be insane. It's the automatic brakes from people getting too close to the car turning it on. And then we get into a nice groove. But still, every single loop, there's so many people on these streets cheering. The whole country gets behind this. Even Easy Post, who I'm riding with, is an American team. And people are still cheering around the way, on the countryside, up hills, down hills. How far people have to walk to get here is crazy. What's crazier though is taking these sharp turns. I'm never prepared for it, and each time I'm slung to the side. But we kind of get cruising. You almost get in that zen-like moment. Do you find it very stressful or more therapeutic that you get in the zone when driving after a driver?
If nothing happens to him, it's not really stressful. No.
Okay. It's probably a lot different on the non-time trial days because you're passing off things.
Yeah, and there are 175 riders as well at the same time.
Oh yeah, it's just one rider. True. That's chaos. You just let all them out like that. I couldn't quite figure out what is going on here. Why is this one says, oh, we're going downhill? Which you feel a lot more on a bike than a car. Not as many people on the hill, which I was confused by, but then I guess you don't really get to see people as much when you're on the hill because they zip by so fast. Then we approach the last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we don't cross the finish line because we actually go the last way, so that was a little anticlimactic, but what a time. Now, we all know cyclists have been known for sports performance recovery. Today, I'm sneaking into their hotel to see what I can find. can you tell me anything about the food you're prepping for the drivers today?
So tonight I've roasted off some sweet potatoes. So it's a great carbohydrate choice. Otherwise, rice and pasta gets every night. So just different carbohydrate. Some carrots and onion and sweet potato soup. Really nice salmon fillets, which we'll just bake off with some fresh herbs, some lemon, a bit of rosemary.
Well, what inspires you to make the menu every day?
I look at all the stages and I categorize them into mountains, sprint stages, hilly stages, breakaway stages. And I will tailor the menu towards those stages. So some days it will be more focused on carbo loading and really clean food. And then other days, like the last two stages, the flat sort of transfer stages, I'll go more with micronutrients. So getting more salads in, maybe some fiber, some lentils and good soups and juices, really like building the immunity up. Because as the race goes on, the food gets more simple. The riders are literally looking to fuel.
Yeah.
And so like we try and build that health into them before the race gets really serious. And then they've got that like underlying base layer. We want to power them to victory essentially.
Their meals are interesting and all, but you know what I want to check out? The snack car.
These are some shoes with some energy.
Yeah.
So you can see that everything has like carbs marked and also the carb ratio. So depending on what the situation is, you need a different carb to sodium to ratio, and different types of bars where they have like these fast bars that are easily digestible, and then they have also protein bars, and so we'll give them a mix of everything. This is rice cakes, cooked rice that you cook in like basically just a bunch of milk.
Yeah.
Or they turn into these like really high energy, dense little cakes, I guess, that they eat on the ride.
So if you ever wonder how they eat on the go, these cute little purses, they fill with snacks and they hand off to the drivers, and they kind of just wear it like a purse, and then they eat the snacks. And one of the biggest goals is the magic number, 120 grams. They're aiming for 120 grams of carbs per hour.
Now let's go check inside their hotel rooms. Now if you watch Unchained for literally even 10 seconds, you'll know these boys take their massages seriously. I'm honestly shook by the amount of butt cheeks Netflix was willing to show us.
So, as you guys know, we're partnering with 8 Sleep for this video, and I was like, how does that work? Like, are they bringing 8 Sleeps? Do the athletes just get 8 Sleeps? And yes, the athletes who want them have this big box that hauls around with them. They get set up every day, and they have an intern whose job is to set up the 8 Sleep mattresses. Like, what a summer gig. So there was a little funky thing we saw in the bedroom, and it's a pee vial. And we're like, what's the deal with this? And it's actually a very logical explanation. So we got the team doctor here to explain.
So every morning we ask the riders to do a pee first thing, and then I collect it. Obviously it goes in the little pot first, and then we just have these strips that test for hydration. So we're not looking for anything really special, it's just looking at the hydration, and then we compare that with their weight and also their Whoop data, and then we can just basically make sure everyone's recovered properly from the day before and that they're ready to go for the next stage. So yeah, it's nothing clever, just hydration.
What a glamorous job. Thank you so much. Now, I am going to attempt one of their recovery routines, but one thing that they all said, and this was not even that, I wasn't like, oh, it's 8 Sleep, tell you this, is blackout blinds and temperature.
My room has to be quiet and dark.
Staying cool is probably the most important, especially during the summertime.
Those are the biggest things, especially when you're traveling. Now, normally if you want to have a great sleep, you want it as dark as possible and you want it colder because it does help with sleep. But also, I've learned something. Tour de France, every single day, they're in a random hotel. And because they're in smaller towns, they're not always just going to be in Paris. So you never know how the AC is going to be, how the blackout blinds is. And that's why 8 Sleep has partnered with them and why it's like such a nice thing for sports performance and just the recovery, which is the hardest thing. And every single person I talked to in this was like, I'm like, oh, what sets it apart? Like, how does someone become better? It's like, who recovers the best? It's not necessarily like who's the fastest, it's who can recover every day. And the best sports enhancement there is on the planet is good sleep. And so temperature is such a game changer for that. Just sleeping in a cold room, using something like an 8 Sleep that can lower the temperature, and just, it is the best thing for sports performance. So it seems only fitting that I try their recovery routine. Starting with number 1, sleep. The tips they had, temperature, which luckily I had thanks to 8 Sleep.
I sleep on an 8 Sleep pod every single day.
8 Sleep made this video entirely possible and brought me their sponsor of it. And the best part about 8 Sleep is it has an autopilot that controls your proper temperature. So it's not just cold or hot, it's gonna go through cycles and an algorithm to really make sure you fall asleep fast, but you stay asleep. For example, for me, I don't like a cold bed, but sleeping in a cold bed improves my quality of sleep. So when I'm asleep, it dips down cold and I don't even notice it.
Just like the athletes, I slept all night on my 8 Sleep pod.
And if you guys are interested in getting your own 8 Sleep, of course I got a discount code for you. If you use my code Keltie, you'll get $350 off your Pod Ultra 4 and $200 off your Pod 4. Thank you 8 Sleep for sponsoring this video. Number 2, they're all about massages and using like compression gear and compression boots. So I went and got a full body compression, which was really nice, especially because I just flew back from France and just to get the circulation going. And there's many reasons they get massages after. It's the blood flow to help with recovery, sore muscles, like multiple things, but it definitely does help from workouts. But this was so nice. And third, the most interesting thing I learned, I think, while finding like the behind the scenes of it is they don't really have rest days on Tour de France. Now, there is technically rest days. They're not biking every single day. And I asked, I was like, oh, so do they just like chill out, relax? Like, no, most of them go 4-hour or longer bike rides. I'm like, what? Like, how's that your recovery? And the trainers mentioned, yeah, in the past they would have full rest days, but now most of them still have to go and do these hard bikes even on their rest day because it's almost like a switch for their body. And this is going to sound bad. I'm not saying doing this. It's just like an interesting thing of how hard this race is. Like, they can't let their body get into recovery mode because that could slow them down, because it's not about getting stronger. It's about competing. This isn't like a workout program. They're actually competing day in and day out. So if they have these rest days, they don't do anything. It's almost like a switch to your body. Like, oh, relax, recover. And like they almost permanently try to stay in that fight and flight, which I found fascinating. Like, it makes sense. I'm like, oh my God, not good for your body, but like it's just one of the extremes of this sport. And that's kind of what a lot of them do. So their rest days involve over 4 hours of biking. So I went biking for my rest day. And I thought it'd be fun to attempt to have one of their little snacks, because I think it was the cutest little thing to know all of them, how they eat. I don't know. I was like, how do they eat? Do they just eat a big meal after, before? And it turns out they do have a big meal before. They have gels, electrolytes, bars, but then they also get like a little lunch bag that they wear on the road, which is full of bars, snacks, fruit, and yeah, each of them get a little baby Coke. So I'm going to attempt to eat. I didn't have a baby Coke, but I had a kombucha in my fridge, and so I attempted to drink that on the go. I just realized I had this great idea. We're gonna go on a recovery run, film it. I'm gonna have a snack. And now I forgot how scary road bikes are. And it's definitely not adjusted to my right height, but I have a helmet this time. So bear with me. This might not be the most cinematic experience I've ever put on my channel. Yeah, it is not adjusted to my right height, and I forgot to ask the people. That is on me. Okay. Oh, actually, it is. Whoa, here we go, baby. I'm so scared. I feel so vulnerable on the bike. How do they get a pop? How do they get a pop out? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not getting a little snack. I regret this. Maybe. We are biking. We are biking. It is quite lovely. Every time I'm on a bike, I say I'll get into biking. But it scares me. I'm so scared of being yelled at. Okay, we are gonna attempt to get a drink. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is so hard. How do they do this? I don't think I'm... Oh God. Oh. There goes my teeth. No! No! Hi. Update. My camera fell. My drink exploded. I don't know how much of that you saw. Yeah, that was hard. That was harder than I anticipated. And that was me going behind the scenes to join Easy Post for 24 hours and attempt to have a recovery routine like them. This was an amazing experience. Thank you, 8 Sleep, for making it possible. This is so inspiring. You guys know I'm running, and it does tickle my fancy to get into biking. But I would love to hear down in the comments any other athletes you would like me to go behind the scenes,
try their recovery routine, try their workout routine. I'm always just intrigued to find out how top performers perform and their routines, and just little subtle differences from our lives, just to see like the madness behind a sport. And wow, like we knew this sport was insane, but it's insane. Like their warm-ups are harder than our workouts. But most importantly, have a great day. Go pet a dog. Love you guys. Bye.